So, okay, so last night, what did it mean? What did it mean for the industry?
Well, I think it means that that good genetics happen and show up anywhere, Di. I mean, genetics are not held by boundaries. They're not held by country or anything like that. They show up anywhere, and the advent today of international trade and business is there, and this is a great example of that.
Did you expect to be pushed so far?
Yeah, I thought we expected to be. I thought we expected to pay a fair price for that animal in an open, free market, and that's what it was, and that's where it came to last night.
So CEMEX, the underbidder, so big time competition. Did it? Tell me, what are your plans for her? She's in Australia right now, and obviously you've got more global plans for her.
Yes, it's our direction to do the best that we can for the heifer. Right now, that direction would be to do as much learning as we can to understand the ability to move the heifer to the U.S. That process may happen very fluently and very easily depending on how things are structured right now, or she may remain here. So at this point, we're looking towards bringing the heifer to the U.S. because she would then be in amongst the group of heifers that we are currently working with, and that system and process is in place for IVF, ET, recipient is there, and in addition to this standard of what we're doing today, we're also looking at different ideas for research and development. So having the heifer in the facility that we do the majority of our work with is a desire for us to, what we feel is to capture as much as we can from her.
So what are your, how do you see her genetic value? What do you think she will bring to the industry to bring the value back for you?
Well, Di, obviously we invest in many heifers, and they're all exciting heifers. Some are the ones that have a high price to them, and some do not have a high price. And as I've been around in this many times, we don't know which animals are going to be so superior in reproduction, but you do your best in dairy husbandry, and you do your best with the correct people on reproduction, and you hope for the opportunity for her to reproduce. Maybe it's from her first calves that are exciting, and it might be from her last calves. So the opportunity isn't necessarily the race for the first stuff and then think that it's successful or unsuccessful. The opportunity is to use her in conjunction with the entire group of females, and maybe it's one son that's maybe not high ranking in one country but high ranking in another, that's actually provides you an experience or an value that helps another generation down the road. So it's not all about the one or two calves out of her. She's part of a system for a long period, and that's the way we look at it. Genetics is never about a race or a sprint right away. It's a long distance marathon, and you'd like to keep a steady pace to that as well.
Genomics has turned into a bit of a race though, hasn't it, realistically?
Well, and I think it's a race, Di, but it's a good race, but it also shows dairymen all around the world that you can breed a better physical animal for your herd. Genetics, we tend to really focus on those elite females, but what those elite females, from a breeding standpoint are providing or showcasing is that you as a dairyman, how can a dairyman who milks 100 cows or 200 cows or 1,000 or 10,000, how can he build his herd with the best 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 cows? And that's through the idea of genetics, the improvement of each generation, information, genomic testing. To me, all the technologies are tying together so nicely for dairymen to benefit from that. Not just on one or two heifers, which are exciting, but the whole process to help dairymen make better cows.
And what are you feeling like this morning after the sale? Like, it was a heap of hype, there's a lot of people there. So what are you thinking about it all this morning as you wake up and think, yeah, I've just spent a little bit of money?
Yeah, it's, again, Di, I'm excited for it. That's an exciting part of the industry, but as my boss has taught, and it's a focus, is it's not about the one. The one helps you, but the one is part of a team. And so we're excited to work with her. We're excited if there's another one that comes along in 6 months from now, because like we just said, genetics is exciting. She's the it heifer today, but it's going to be 5 or 6 months before she's into a reproductive standpoint. So in a sense, she might become a very quiet heifer for a few months before it becomes very exciting again when she reaches that opportunity to start reproduction. So. And
how determined are you to export her physically to the States, or are you actually pretty easy either way?
Well, I think the idea, because we have a system and a process already started in the U.S., it does make sense for us to bring her to the U.S. So I think it, like anything else, you do best to learn and exhaust all opportunities for that. But if it doesn't happen, heck, there's a couple of good people that we know here in Australia that we'll partner up with, and we'll do the best we can with her here too. So either way, it's a value point.
Thank you.